Psalms 94. Psalms 94. Verse 1. God, put an end to evil. Avenging God. Show your colors. Judge of the earth, take your stand. Throw the book at the arrogant. God, the wicked get away with murder. How long will you let this go on? They brag and boast and crow about their crimes. They walk all over your people, God. Exploit and abuse your precious people. They take out anyone who gets in their way. If they can't use them, they kill them. They think God isn't looking. Jacob's God is out to lunch. Well, think again, you idiots. Fools, how long before you get smart? Do you think ear maker doesn't hear? Eye shaper doesn't see? Do you think the trainer of nations doesn't correct? The teacher of Adam doesn't know? God knows all, right? Knows your stupidity, sees your shallowness. We have to be people that want to make smart decisions, getting input, coming together, thinking, not making decisions so quickly that we wake up and wonder what happened. This is true of the big decisions like quitting a job or entering or exiting a relationship or moving to a new city. When faced with such a decision, what do? If you can't figure out all the consequences, can you do any better than guessing? Usually people will freeze in such situations. Even when you don't like what you have, you may worry that the alternatives are worse. There's nothing worse than not making a decision. That's a non-decision. And it's still a decision. It just means you didn't move. You're wallowing in your soup. You're wallowing in the mud. It's not the way to go. In every decision, it involves a choice between maintaining the status quo or making a change. I refuse to maintain the status quo, manage the zoo, or the aquarium. There's going to be change. When we can't be certain a change will work out for the better, by default, we stay put. Now, one of the alternatives to thinking through this is considering to ask yourself, is this really me in this decision? Now, I want you to think of this, is this really me as a believer, as a Christian? Use the context of the godliness in our life to say, is this really me? As a Christian, is this the me that I want to see? Is this how I envision who I am as a believer? Is this how it works? Let's explore this. Number one, decisions are acts of self-expression. But I want you to add to that acts of self-expression in Christ. Because it's very easy to use the world's logic and make decisions based on secular thinking, and you won't get the same result. You may win the battle, but you're going to lose the war. So you need to think of this, making decisions as acts of self-expression of who I'm in Christ. This path isn't going to be easy, but I know this is the right way to go because it's who I am. See, when you plug in there as a believer, then who I am as a believer does the decision. Am I going to participate in this activity as a believer? Can I go here and get the glory of God as a believer? This city, this job, this move, this marriage, this relationship. As a believer, is this what God's best is for me? Put that in your mind as you're making this decision.